Hello crafty friends, this is the Papered Chef here. In today's video, I will share 20 projects I created using the Lovely Day Paper Pumpkin Kit, February 2020. It came with enough supplies to make 9 full-size cards. I took the cards and I did many things with them, including the elements from the pack and stickers and stamp set, and using those elements I created a total of 13 different kinds of cards, adding some of my own cardstock and card bases. I created 7 3D projects, which will include boxes and tag treats. And I also created 2 tags or bookmarks, which I'll show you second. The first thing I want to show you, the first of my 20 projects, and I actually have one project that's incomplete, and I'll show you that too. The first of my 20 projects I'm going to show you is this, because before I get into anything techie where you might be thinking, hey, what if I don't have a ScanNCut? Because I did make a lot of my projects using things I cut out with the ScanNCut. I want to say that this first card I made straight out of the kit. I didn't do any extra cutting or anything. All I did was color in this cake using the Stampin' blends and what's called the Wink of Stella glitter pen. And that was it. So this, except that I did take this card element, this background, and I did put it on Old Olive cardstock. And the reason I had to use Old Olive is because I ran out of card bases, because I used all the card bases for other things. You're going to see how I cut them up to make boxes and things. So you can create an amazing card just like this, just by coloring in the cake that came in the kit. And these 3D stickers came in the kit. I didn't need to cut those out. They are foiled in rose gold. This card background, the sequins, everything. So I wanted to just start out by saying this is what came in the kit, except I did use my own ink. I used Old Olive ink and a bunch of Stampin' blends. Now each month the kit comes with a Stampin' spot, meaning it comes with one color. And if you are subscribing to Paper Pumpkin, which I'll have a link to how to do that, if you're in the US or Canada you can subscribe, but my subscribers must be in the US. You'll get a Stampin' spot each month. I don't open my Stampin' spots because I prefer to use the large ink pads. Okay, so I take out my Paper Pumpkin kit, and the first thing I do is I look at the coordinating colors. And they are, and I don't need to zoom in it because I will be showing you a kit in more detail. Petal Pink, Pool Party, Pretty Peacock, Rich Razzleberry, Rococo Rose, and Old Olive. So then I proceed to get out the stamp pads, and you'll see that I've used the Pretty Peacock and Old Olive in many of the stamping of the sentiments, as well as Memento Black, because I was doing a lot of coloring with the blends. Okay, so I get 2 kits a month. I give away my stamping spots and 1 extra stamp set. I keep the refill supplies. And this is how nice the stamps are that come in the kit. And in the March kit, you're getting an extra stamp set because it's our 7th anniversary. We're celebrating 7 years, and we're giving out a 2nd stamp set. All right, so with that said, I did make this card using everything from the kit as far as elements, but I did use my own ink. Okay, so now we'll get into more things you can do if you have other crafts in your stash and how you can extend the capabilities of your Paper Pumpkin kit by adding supplies from your stash. So here's how I made these 2 tags. I used my own cardstock. This is called Petal Pink, one of the coordinating colors, and this is called Pool Party. Okay, so then I took, and they were 2 inches wide, took 2 inches wide by 5.5 inches long. And I'll try to remember to put these different supplies in the description of the video, but please be patient because it takes me a while to write up the descriptions. I use things from my past Paper Pumpkin kits as well. This twine, for example, the white twine, that came in last month's Paper Pumpkin kit. Okay, so I would use that. I just have leftovers. So I save all the extra pieces from other kits and I use that. And then I took some ribbon I had that was Petal Pink, and I added those to my tags. It's called Organdy Striped Ribbon, Petal Pink. And you can see I've used a lot of this for projects. It really, really ties up nicely. And it's just so smooth. And I probably could have even made those longer. But I'm probably using these not as, if they were bookmarks, I would have made the ribbons longer. But I'm using these as tags. Okay, now let's get into the technical part. I did a video, if you go to my last video, or maybe 2 videos ago. It was just a few days ago. I showed how to cut out sentiments using, and stamped images using your brother's ScanNCut. So I did cut out the word lovely. I showed how to layer it, and I'm using rose gold foil from a kit I have, a product medley. And see how I cut out the flower and I layered it twice. I layered the flower with Petal Pink and rose gold. Okay, so it just adds extra dimension. I did cut out the cakes with my ScanNCut, but there's no reason you can't cut out things with your scissors and come up with these same effects. These elements here, this one's a card base. It's 1.75 inches wide. That's what gives it the nice margin. And this is a piece of the envelope. So what do I mean by that? It came with really nice envelopes. This kit did. I just have 3 left. I've been cutting them all apart to use them for things. These are the envelopes that came in the kit. I took these envelope liners because they go all the way down inside. See, they go all the way down. And so I was able to use those to wrap candies, to make bookmarks, to make tags, card bases, note cards, you name it. I was able to use those envelopes, and that's how I made these bookmarks. So even if you just want to cut out your cake in a circle, even if you don't have a ScanNCut and you just want to use a little circle punch out your cake, you can make a nice birthday tag. And I actually cut these by hand with scissors. You know, you're a great reason to celebrate, and you're lovely. The lovely I did cut by machine, but I cut the word you're out of that. Okay, so that's my first. These are my first. What are we up to? Number 3. Let me put those over there. Give myself some room here. Okay, so while we were talking about the bookmarks, I'm going to show you these next, because then I want to show you like something you can use to make these. What I'm calling these, I call these my tag treats. I've done videos and tutorials for years now on YouTube on how to make these, but I like to challenge myself each month to make them match whatever my paper pumpkin kit is, and I always try to make some more tag treats. Okay, so let's see if I put anything on the back. Yes, I did. I put lovely on the back of this one. So I just like decorating with elements. Okay, so this is just a card base. I cut out the little pretty peacock card base, and this is a card base. This is just one of the card bases. Those purple, or not purple, rich raspberry card bases. That's all this is. And this is a card base I wrapped around the bottom. And then these are Hershey miniatures. Okay, so I wrapped them. And just like this, these are Hershey miniatures. And I even have like a die that I make boxes for Hershey miniatures. But in this case, I just wrapped them with designer series paper from the envelopes liners. Okay, so that's all I did. I used the envelope liners and I put some things on them. And you could fit 2. You just got to turn them back to back. And you can fit 2 right inside there in your treat holder. Okay, and there's something on the back of this one as well. And I'm going to show you the punches I used throughout. So this is Scent with Love. So I'll talk about the Scent with Love in a little bit, but let me just show you the punches. So whenever you're making tag treats, or whenever you're making bookmarks, you can use one of our 2 tag treats, or tags, punches I mean. Excuse me, I have to cough. All right, you can use the Scallop Tag Topper Punch, or you can use the Delightful Tag Topper Punch. These are our punches that will make these tag treats for you, or they'll make the tags, the bookmarks. I use them constantly. Even though I have machines to make tags, I just prefer to just use up all my scraps and do it this way. So these are in our website, in our catalog. I mean, they're online. You can get them now. Even if you're not a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, you can still get cool punches and make cool tags. So basically, I'm just trying to inspire you to take whatever supplies you have and make crafts with them. All right. So then I'll get more into the butterflies as I show you the next couple projects. I took these card bases and I was like, okay, these are the pink card bases, and I was like, let me do some things with them. So I like this margin, and let me show you how these open first, because that's pretty cool anyway, I think, in itself. I didn't want to do anything else to these cards. I didn't want to cut them up because I love the opening. I guess that's like a buckle fold or something, where you just tilt. One of you will let me know if it's not, but just, you can comment what kind of fold that is. But it's a really neat fold. So I took they give you places to stamp in the sentiments, and I put, have a lovely birthday. And then I took the roses that I cut out with my ScanNCut, and I used blends to color those in. And then I thought it'd be fun to put some rose gold butterflies along the margin. And to make those butterflies out of all of my scraps and out of my foil, I used this butterfly duet punch. Okay, duet butterfly punch. Now I'm going to talk about how I blended. I'm not blending in this video because this is only an inspirational video. It's not about the technique itself. But I just tell you the colors I did use for this type of rose. I used Rococo Rose and Petal Pink to blend this flower. And then I would use, that's these 4 colors. Blends come in pairs, light and dark. And then I would use Old Olive every time. Every time you see leaves, I used Old Olive. And then I put Wink of Stella on many of my cards. So while I'm showing you this style of card, I want to show you my other 2 cards I made with that style. Again, same fold. I didn't touch the fold because I love a card like this. I don't do anything to the inside. I don't need to stamp them. I put my sentiments on the outside. And I used the congratulations from the kit. And I thought this will be nice. You know, maybe a team member gets promoted, right? It would be a nice card or something like a congratulations card. Congratulations, lovely. You're a great reason to celebrate. Okay, so that would be for promotion, some kind of achievement. Okay, and so that's the butterfly punch again. And now I'll show you. I'm going to show you this paper also. But let me show you the 3rd card from this type of category. And you can see the Wink of Stella now. And I do have that right here to show you as well. So Wink of Stella is our glitter pen. You shake it up. It's a brush. Hopefully it doesn't fly out when I pull the lid off. See? It's a brush. And it just adds shimmer and glimmer when you paint over your stamped image. After you let it dry, you paint over it. And I just love the effect. Even kind of 3D-ish as well. I go through these like water. All right, so I added the butterflies to them all. These are 3D elements that came in the kit. You can see I layered up the different flowers, sometimes with different background layers. And now this one I colored in with the rich raspberry and Rococo Rose again. I used Rococo Rose again, but I didn't use petal pink here. I used a rich raspberry and Rococo Rose. So that we have a birthday card, we have the celebratory card, and actually we have 2 birthday cards and the celebratory card. So let's talk about this paper in the background of this card. Well, when you look at your coordinating colors, then you just go through your stash. I'm going to tilt that so you don't get a glare. And you just say, what do I have that are in those colors? Well, I happen to have this paper pack that I use all the time, and it's called the In Color Designer Series Paper Pack. And in this In Color, 2 of the In Colors are Rococo Rose and Pretty Peacock. So that's where I got this circle from, the element behind there. And this is just right from the kit. That's the inside of the card. So these come in different patterns, and you're going to see me use the little scripty ones when I show you my note cards. They come in 5 colors, and they come in scripty font. You can get those now on the website, on our website. If you do want to catalog and see these products, you know, or actually I'm not giving out the annual catalogs right at this moment, but I'm giving out the 2020 mini catalogs. And so maybe some of the stuff I'm using is in there, but I'm not sure. All right, so that was how I made those 3. Now we'll get into these type of cards here that have this really neat background. They came like this. These came right in the kit. Sometimes I like to refer back to the instructions to show you. See, these pieces came. So you don't have to cut this out by machine. It comes like that. I did cut out the rose that way. This rose I colored in with these rich raspberry, dark and light. But after I colored in the rich raspberry rose, or whatever kind of flower, this is probably a rose, I then said it was too dark. So what I then did is I used this thing called a color lifter. So after I colored in my flower, I used a color lifter to make it lighter. So this is a sympathy card. And what I try to do is I use whatever sentiments I need for my cards, and this is what it looks like on the inside. The loss is immeasurable, but so is the love left behind. Okay, so where did I get that perfect sentiment for this? I mean, there's never the perfect words to say, but where did I get an appropriate sentiment, let's say, for sympathy? I just visited my old paper pumpkin kits. This one's called Blissful Blooms. And in the Blissful Blooms, which, here's the stamp set, there was this, and don't worry that your stamps get stained, because mine get stained all the time. No big deal. That's what happens to photopolymer stamps. All right, so, and there's ways to prevent it from getting stained as much, but I've never got them to not get stained altogether. So these, Thinking of You is from there, and so is this stamp. Okay, so that's how I made this card. This is a celebratory, this kit here is all about birthdays and celebrations. So it didn't have anything for sympathy, but I needed something to fit in these little banners. It did have these little banners that were rose gold foiled for us, and I wanted to fit the sentiment inside this banner, and that's when I looked for like the perfect sentiment to use for this card. Okay, so that's going to be for a friend. I'm sending it right away, right after this video. Okay, and here's another way I took that same background and I turned it into a happy card. So we have a sad card. Okay, we have a sad card and we have a happy card, taking the same exact flower. So you can see how you can do that. I hope that gives you an idea. It's all about the sentiment. You're a great reason to celebrate. Now we've turned it into a happy card. Nothing on the inside. This is called a crumb cake. That's our crumb cake cardstock. Goes with anything. It's one of our neutral colors, so it goes with anything. Again, just adding sequins, things like that. All right, so let's get into some more 3D projects. Saving my favorite for last. My little pizza box I'm going to show you next, and then I'll show you my little boxes at the end, because I love making little boxes out of cards. But this one I didn't have to make the box itself. Stampin' Up! Sells plain mini pizza boxes. They ship flat, and then you fold them up, and you can decorate them with designer series paper. I didn't even use my machine to do this. I just used a paper trimmer, because I used the envelope liners and pieces of scraps and cards I had left over. So you could also cut out, if you're making a lot of mini pizza boxes, maybe you're making shower favors or party favors, then you can cut these out precisely, all of these measurements. But I just love decorating with designer series paper. So I'm going to talk about the outside of this box, then I'll talk about the inside. The outside uses those same butterflies again, out of rose gold. There's rich raspberry coloring technique again with the blends and Wink of Stella. And I used the envelope liner. Okay, so that's an envelope liner for that. And then I used an envelope liner, and then this one was just a piece of card. And that's why they don't match on either side, but it doesn't need to. I mean, they match, they coordinate the colors. So then I started running out of the paper from the envelopes. In fact, I wanted to save a few envelopes to use, and I forgot about my second kit for a while, and I said, let me just do something else with the inside. So I started using that paper I showed you earlier. I started using this to decorate the inside of my pizza box. And that way I was gonna save on it. So this is really fun. So I used the scripty font paper from the In Color collection, and I just put some little Hershey miniatures in the side there. And what I would normally do is use a removable glue dot. When I put these in the box, if I'm gonna ship it, I stick a removable glue dot behind each one, and that way they kind of stay in there when you shut the box. Actually, you know what I might do? Because I have a lot of extras, I might leave them like loose and put, because these are very easy to make, I might just put a bunch of them in there and not glue them down. Just let them sort of rattle around in there, and they all coordinate. Okay, so that's just an idea. So I put Celebrate, that's one of the foamy stickers that came in the kit, another one of the rose gold butterflies, and I love that paper. In fact, when I first got that paper from the In Color collection, and I was doing some Hershey Nugget tag topper treats, I wasn't really using that design at all. I wasn't using the scripty design because I was like, oh, what would I use that for? But when I came into the floral patterns, it was perfect. I was using mostly the other sides of those, which were sort of this pattern. And like, see, I was using this one mostly. But then now that I have the floral pattern, I found a reason to use the scripty font, because now we're getting into this sort of vintage look. All right. Let's see what else we have. That was Sentimental. I think I was supposed to show you Sentimental Rose for something, but I have to figure out what that one was for. All right, so that was the mini pizza box. And now I'm going to show you a note card. Not a note card. This is actually a regular card. It's just a square card. I did make note cards as well. So this square card, I just cut down the card base because I wanted to have a smaller card, because I thought that the piece of cake was going to get lost in a bigger card. So I just made a smaller card. I trimmed some of the extra different scraps off, and I just added that and a few butterflies. These little hearts came out of one of my old paper pumpkin kits. That's as simple as that. Okay, I have a special gatefold card next. Let's make a little room to show you this one. We'll put these over here. I don't even know what number I'm up to, but I'm just going to make sure I show you everything. In fact, I'm putting everything in my bucket. You can't see my bucket. My bucket of crafty goodness. I'm putting everything in the bucket, so as I take it out, I know I've shown you, and I won't forget anything. All right, this is called a gatefold card. I showed how to make these around Christmas, before Christmas time. We made cute gatefold cards on YouTube that had to do with the, let's see, the little snowman set. I already forgot the name of it. Let It Snow, the Let It Snow suite that was in our holiday catalog. So I showed how to make gatefold cards. All it is just, this is just crumb cake. By the way, this is just crumb cake cardstock. I think I double knotted that. Yeah, I double knotted it, so just slip that off. And you could decorate the inside panels as well, but I just put petal pink in the inside. And then I used the different envelope liners or the different card bases, some extra paper I had. And then this little Happy Mother's Day, which I've been using a lot lately, is from the Itty Bitty Greetings. And Itty Bitty Greetings is a 2-part stamp set. I love 2-part stamp sets with like lots of sentiments to use for different things. So in this video, you're going to see how I used the Happy Mother's Day, and you're going to see how I used Scent with Love. Let's see where that is. Scent with Love. I used Scent with Love a few times. I think I used it on the back of one of my, here, on the back of the tag treats. I've also used it on some of the cards, and I used the Happy Mother's Day. And I might even use the With Love and Sympathy on the outside of one of the envelopes, you know, for my sympathy cards. In fact, right after I got done making a sympathy card, I realized somebody else passed away, so I was like, I needed another sympathy card. So as soon as I open my other kit, I'm going to be making extra sympathy cards. All right, so that is a gatefold card, Mother's Day card. Okay, you can do another Mother's Day card, and again, those same butterflies. I did this Mother's Day card. Oh, that's why I wanted to show you that set. So in the Sentimental Rose, this is the Sentimental Rose. That's where I got this Mother's Day. So I have lots of Mother's Day stamps. I mean, really, I have lots of stamps. I mean, let's face it, I'm a stamp hoarder. Let me put this back. I just wanted to straighten that out because it was bothering me. All right, so I just find that having different sentiments of the same kind, like the Mother's Day, helps me because I do make a lot of Mother's Day cards. I only have one mother, but I have like sister-in-laws, sisters, friends that are mothers. I like to send out a lot of Mother's Day cards. So I like having the perfect sentiments to fit on whatever I'm working on. And this one, the Sentimental Rose, which is a former paper pumpkin kit, had a perfect sentiment that fit right in that circle that was part of this kit. And then I just stamped it in Rococo Rose, and I had a card that fit. This one fit perfectly inside this punch, which is called the Classic Label Punch. You'll see loads of things I cut out with this punch. It's a great way of using up your scraps. I use that so many times in my projects. Okay, now let me talk about these little butterflies here. So I like to do things in threes, but sometimes I didn't. Sometimes I did the hearts in threes, like in the sequins I did in 1, 2, 3 hearts and 1, 2, 3 sequins on each side. But sometimes I didn't do 3 butterflies because I did 2 butterflies and the flower, which is the third element. But what I like to do is I like to do things in threes when I'm designing my cards. So I have the rose gold butterfly there. I have these 2 butterflies. Okay, I want to show you where I got those because, and I also want to explain that like I did just make these in 1 or 2 days, but I didn't just make them in 1 or 2 days because I started from scratch. I actually had a lot of little butterflies made up already that I had made in one of the card making courses I was teaching. And so I already had a lot of these cards, I mean, already stamped and punched out, and I was able to pull them out of my bag and use them as elements on the card. So other than that, I did start from scratch because I didn't have anything cut out with the ScanNCut, and I didn't even see the kit until I just got it a few days ago. So of course I did start from scratch, but not really because I'm using design patterns that I've used over and over again. I've made gatefold cards before. I've created tag treats before. I've created bookmarks before. So really I'm not starting from scratch. I'm using a lot of the same patterns over and over again. So here's the stamp set that I used to stamp those butterflies in the first place. Okay, and these stamps stick together, except I did cut 1 or 2 apart. Let's see. So they stick together, meaning if you stamp on a piece of paper these butterflies, I got to show you this. This is so cool. Stampin' Up! Really puts a lot into research and development and being very innovative in the industry. So you stamp that butterfly onto your Whisper White cardstock because it has good ink absorption, and then you punch them out together. How cool is that, right? You could punch out the butterflies together because they stamp together. And in one case, I didn't want them to stamp together, so I cut the stamp apart. Oh no, I cut my stamps apart. All right, so lastly about these cards, I think I've talked about everything except for that little background, and that was that this little background piece was the In Color Designer Series paper I showed you earlier. Now I want to show you that I did start. Before I show you, I'm going to show you my note cards next, and I have 4 note cards, but before I show you my note card, I did start this project. But I didn't finish it because I was trying to erase this. I don't know what happened. There's a big mark there. And I need something to sort of cover this up with. So I'll probably be putting like butterflies around this card or something. But I did take a piece of that In Color cardstock and put it behind one of my cakes. And I'm liking the way it's starting to come out. So I will probably put that on my you know, put a picture of it when I'm done. And these are the flowers. I have one left that came in the kit. And then these are the ones I colored just for contrast. So see, they're both cool. I mean, both flowers you color and both the ones came out of the kit are very cool. All right, so that's what I wanted to say about the impartial project, or the project incomplete project. So now I made 4 cards. And the 4 cards I made are in note card form. And you could, you know, get Whisper White cardstock and cut it and score it and all this stuff. But I just used these little note card packs that we sell at Stampin' Up. And they're like a Magnolia Lane note card pack. I use the little top parts for writing notes to customers and things. And then I use the bottom part to make, they're already thick Whisper White cardstock, and I just decorate the front and make note cards. So again, Itty Bitty Greetings, Rococo Rose, Old Olive, and Rich Razzleberry for the berries. The background is the in color paper. This background is the envelope liner. It could be a card background, but it's either the card, I think it's the envelope liner. Okay, Happy Mother's Day from Itty Bitty Greetings. The next note card, this rose came just like that, right out of the kit. But I did add Wink of Stella to it so you could see some sparkle. Thinking of You. Again, that's from that Blissful Blooms, just one of my old paper pumpkin kits. In fact, don't hide your old paper pumpkin kits. Keep them and maybe put them into some, I put mine into clear envelopes, some of the stamps, and then I can see them, know what's there. Or if you have room to store all your boxes, you can open them up, but it's easier if you store them where you can see the sentiments. And this is just one of those little flowers right from the kit, piece of rose gold foiling, and You're Lovely, one of the stickers. And you can decorate the envelopes as well. These are note card envelopes that came. So that's a note card set. I'm not giving that out as a set. Actually, I'm sending them out to 4 different people. Okay, and there, lastly, my favorite project of all is my little boxes. To make little boxes, and I've shown this on my channel, you can take the front of the card and then the back of the card and make the top and the bottom of the box. In this case, I made, let's see, I used cardstock for the bottom because the card bases, they came, let me find one. Here's one. Okay, so here's a card base that I made at this box, the box tops out of. And this card base came decorated in the front and back. So I just wanted the bottom of the box to be plain. So I used some petal pink cardstock and some Pool Party cardstock. So then I did scoring at 7/8 of an inch for this box, and I did scoring at 1 inch around for that box. And inside the boxes, I put little treats. And they will just be for little treats for customers and things, you know, just little cute boxes. And that is, by the way, that's a Happy Hippo. If you don't know what a Happy Hippo is, and if you have any friends in Europe, get them to send you Happy Hippos. Because I got this one from Germany. I mean, my friend sent me, well, my sister sent me a case of those. And then little Tic Tacs, these little mini Tic Tacs. Okay, so I just give little treats out all the time. And that's what so my boxes are my favorite project. And I did teach how to make boxes several times on my channel. I can refer to those related videos in the description. When you're all done making your box, you take your little twine, and you should tie your little twine around it to keep it shut and keep it protected. To color in these cakes, I used coordinating colors of blends. And this is just like the light Old Olive and the light Rococo Rose and the light Pretty Peacock to color in that cake and to color in this rose, Rococo Rose and Old Olive. Stickers straight out of the kit. Okay, so whether you make a box 7/8 of an inch or 1 inch, you still have the same, it can hold lots of treats. Now let's do an unboxing. Okay, so you've seen 20 projects you can make. And I'm going to do an unboxing now. So if you're not familiar with Paper Pumpkin, it's so exciting. It gives me my crafting mojo each month. This is our new packaging, by the way. We have plastic. It's protecting the kits from the elements. That's why I think we're going to have refills on Monday now. Because usually the Monday after everybody gets their kit, the refills go on sale. Or usually the first business day, I should say. After the 20th, the refills go on sale. And only subscribers can buy refills or full kits if we sell full kits. In the past, a lot of times we didn't have a lot of extras to sell. But I think that plastic is going to help. How come? Because the plastic, I already saw somebody post in one of the Facebook pages that their kit was buried in the snow, but the plastic saved it. So that means less replacements for customers. Fewer replacements. Okay, first thing it's talking about is when you open up your kit, it's saying, celebrate lovely coordination. So get more creative with your kit by the free stamp set. Right now we have celebration going on until March 31st. One of the free stamp sets is called Happy Birthday to You. It's free, meaning you don't just get it free. You have to spend $50 and then you get it for free. So you spend $50 on any products and you get that stamp set for free. And this is showing you that that will coordinate. What else we're telling you here in this kit is don't miss the March kit. Subscribe by March 10th and you don't get billed until after that. And you are going to get that extra free stamp set because we're celebrating 7 years of Paper Pumpkin. Okay, here's what the stamping spot looks like. Your first time you subscribe, you're going to get a stamping block too to mount your stamps onto. It's an acrylic stamping block. Here's the stamp set. I love that big rose, very easy to color. I like how you can even stamp the little pieces of the cake and decorate the cake in the inside. Okay, so that's what you get. And again, you would get the stamping block as well. That's your free gift when you first subscribe. I don't get a stamping block because I'm not new anymore. Maybe I've been doing this for at least 5 years. I did get a stamping block the first time. Okay, so I showed you the instructions already. And the first thing I do is I don't really read instructions, but I do go over I always open up my instructions to look for the inspiration. I look at the front picture just to see how they expected us to make the projects. And then I just go from there. Okay, so there's a nice piece of cardboard inside there to protect it. When I'm sending out my designer series paper swaps and things, I do use these cardboards in my envelopes. So I do save those to put in my envelopes to keep people's paper from bending. All right, so let's look at the card bases first and then the envelopes. So we have pretty peacock card bases. You get 3 of those. This is giving you an idea of how many supplies come in a kit. Keep in mind that if you subscribe now, you're getting the March kit, not the February kit, because it's a surprise. We don't know what you're getting. These are rich raspberry card bases. You never know what you're going to get. Okay, here are the instructions. Here are the coordinating colors. And then inside it tells you step by step what to do to make the cards in the front, which are gorgeous as they are. Again, don't feel like you need to do all the things I did. That's just taking it one step further. Okay, it came with all these nice things to stamp. And I want to show you something here, these. So they're together. So you can write birthday wishes or have a blank birthday, and then you put lovely over here. So I like how these little banners are together. You can get really creative with those. And they give you extra, more than you need for your 9 cards. That way if you mess up your stamping, you're okay. You get adhesives. These are called Stampin' Dimensionals. When I'm done using these as dimensionals, I do use the sides of them for my shaker cards. Let me put that up to the camera so you can see. They're like a honeycomb shape. Okay, so I use the corner. These are like lines around the sides. I use those for making shaker cards. In fact, these sequins would make a great shaker card, but I was using them to decorate with. Get a little bag of sequins. You need these, folks. You need these. These are to get your sequins on. These are like little glue dots. I don't usually like glue dots, but those are really good and tiny for the sequins. Here's what I mean about my first card. The very first card I showed you, I said, look how cute this is. We don't even need a machine. Let me find it. I'm going to find the very first card I made. I did use a different background, but I used my old out. I used one of these is all I did. I used the one that came. See how they punch out? I used that. And I colored it in with some blends. I didn't have to cut out the machine. You could do this whole thing yourself. Let me just show you that. You get this part, which I'll show you next, and you put that behind it. Boom, instant card. And you can make them into shaker cards with little windows as well. See how cute? So you didn't need anything to do that with. And then you get 3 of those, and you can keep punching these out and use these for other things, as you saw how I used them. Okay, pool party. And I like this. This is a really innovative thing too from Stampin' Up. I kept covering these with the roses I colored. I kept covering these, you know, with my, let me show you what I did. I covered mine, but I kept the little splotches showing. But underneath this goodness is, you could stamp right over this and you'd have the whole colored rose already. You could stamp the outline and you'd have this beautiful, if you just stamp it in the right spot, your leaves are filled in, your textures. I just love that. I think that's really innovative. There's a picture of kind of how that looks. Stamped in Rococo Rose. So I didn't try that yet, but because I was using Memento Black and I was using blends, but all right, I want to show you the envelopes. Okay, so they are Old Olive envelopes, really cute envelopes, Rich Raspberry, and Rococo Rose envelopes. Oh no, Pool Party envelopes, I'm sorry. And then Rococo Rose card bases, you get 3 of those. And that's that cute little fold I was telling you about that I just love, and I didn't want to change these at all, and I didn't want to cut them apart because they're so cute already. Nice little fold. So you can make 9 full-size cards, and then this is awesome. So this is how I'm going to finish up some of the projects I was doing earlier. These pop out, they're stickers, and they're rose gold. And then I'm going to save this, of course, because then I have extra foam for shaker cards and extra foam for adhering my card pieces. Okay, so that's what comes in a kit. That's not what's going to come in your kit in March. Your kit, let's see what, I'm wrapping things up. Hang with me for 1 second. They did tell us a hint. They said something about the kit. Here, they did tell us a hint. They said, to celebrate, we're sending our subscribers an extra stamp set and delivering an adorable kit filled with 12 spring-themed cards, which will make your creativity bloom. So I think they're like 12 note card size cards. So that's what you're going to be getting. I'm just trying to give you an idea of what comes in a kit. How many supplies come in a kit, how you get adhesive, how you get everything you need. Although you would be getting, of course, something, you get this box with a different theme. But then you can, from then on, subscribe and be excited each month like I am when you get your kit. So there's a link to subscribe in my description of this video and in the comment section. So I hope I inspired you today. Let me know which project was your favorite in the comments. And thank you for watching. This is The Papered Chef.